Hi everyone. So today I'm with my friend Mona Kim. She's a contemporary artist, and today we'll be talking about a very speculative and a modern piece of art, which is really great and intriguing. So the first time I saw it, I was completely blown away, and that's why I wanted to have a discussion with her and ask her a few questions about what she wants to convey through this art. So if you can please introduce yourself.
Yeah, hello, my name is Mona Young-eun Kim. I'm from South Korea, and like last 10 years I'm based in France, and most of time I was in south of France in Montpellier, and now I'm working and living in Paris. And here in Musée Fabre in Montpellier, I'm showing one of my sculpture which called Protect Me Dogs. Yeah, this work maybe we can show.
Yeah. So as you can see, this is the piece of work we are talking about, and it's really. I mean, I will let the artist do the explaining, but we are currently at Fabre Museum, Montpellier, and as you guys know, I'm a student here, and she also did her studies here, and she's currently an artist, and also maybe you can also tell about your other interests and what you currently do with your arts, and then we can dive deep into this piece of work.
Yeah, so I studied in Montpellier Art School and I graduated, and now I'm working in Paris, and most of my work a question on like a speculative like a scenario on our near future. So I'm like kind of sharing lots of like a hypothetical situation. Sometimes people think it's quite dystopic, also can be utopic. So now at the moment, I'm really like thinking about the transformation of the human body and then how our function of like cognition and the memories. So this protect me dogs work also talk about how our body and then recognition memories are changing.
So I'll just give you a quick view of the entire piece of work. You see, it resembles a dog. The entire structure, the skeletal frame, it resembles a dog. That is the head of the dog, and these are the four legs, and this is the tail. And if you zoom in, this was made from silicon, right?
Exactly.
So all of this was made from silicon, and this is I've really never seen anything like this. And you see, this is the brain, and here are the sensory organs, like the nose, the ear, and stuff, and they're all fused through like mechanical wires and stuff, and there are some complicated circuits. So first of all, it's really intriguing, and now, as she said, this it may look a bit dystopian, but I think it's really relevant to discuss about this, especially now in the age of artificial intelligence. And I'm also personally very interested in the future of humanity, and especially in the context of AI and even digital consciousness. But this piece of work, it really has its own unique perspective, and which I will let Mona do the explaining. So can you please tell us what was like? I understand that this is the it resembles a dog, and you were talking about memory and protecting your memory and stuff, but all these different pieces. My question would be, why did you use silicon to build it? Like, what does silicon symbolize here? And also, if you could maybe show around the different bits and explain what you want to convey through that.
Yeah, so here I use mostly the silicone, and I mixed with the selfie stick and the electric cables and circuit as well, because actually people use silicone a lot to make sometimes like prothèse of the human body, or like a fake mask in the film industry, for example, because we can actually represent some like human skin feeling quite realistically with the silicone. But also I feel silicone is one of the material with all the computing system, like we call like a silicon valley stuff. So I think yeah, it's a material like aesthetically goes well, but also how it's used mostly in the world at the moment. It also talk a lot with my research on the memory, because I just check on my iCloud. I just realized that I have 120,000 photos and video, and then seriously I have no idea what they are, even though I'm the one who took all these videos and the photos, because I took the photos video to compensate my bad memory, because I don't remember everything, and then before maybe I took a note, but now it takes time, and then I think if I take a photo of some information, maybe even the text, I can research exactly the information how it was. But also when I travel, I feel, oh my god, my eyes and brain is not that good to contain this experience for a long time. So if I take a video or photo, I feel, even though like in 10 years later, when I don't remember exactly my experience of the travel, I can always remind me how was it. So that's how I interested in the memory, the relationship between our memories and then computer storage. But at the same time, I was wondering what those photos, videos are gonna become in the future, because I'm the one who took, but I definitely not gonna look through every day. And then in 50 years, maybe I will have I don't know, millions of photos, and maybe they just float in the big data system or cloud. Maybe the big companies can use those photo and video to educate their intelligent artificial, and I can never know what's the purpose, and then who they gonna use, and then if I may die, and then what we gonna do with this.
So reminds me of something, a very important question, maybe a bit philosophical, but so what you said was about the artificial intelligence and this. So would you say that if even after you die, or even after we die, if all of our memories stored digitally, photos, videos, whatever, if I mean that creates like a kind of like a unique, my digital content is unique from yours and stuff like that. So what would be your idea of that? Like, do you mean that it's almost like a digital immortality, in that sense that you stay in your photos, videos, your memories, or whatever, and so this entire thing, like this dog, is kind of like protecting your legacy in a way. Is that what you want to?
Yeah, I see those photos, video more like our properties. So our body is our own property. Like my body is mine, and then my memories and my experience, it's all kind of my property. But because I have not enough capacity to dealing with all my property as memories, that's why I kind of outsource my memories in the computer and the big cloud system. So this kind of, for example, the sensory organs, they are the one who
Yes.
extend of our body, and then collect our property, and then also protect our property as a memories in somewhere. Yeah.
That's a very optimistic view, but also some people are, no, that's a really unique perspective. But some people are also wondering about, for instance, this AI and stuff. So what would be your views on questions like privacy and because like you're saying, it's your photos and your memories, your whatever, they're being used as training data for artificial intelligence. So are you not concerned about also the issues about privacy and stuff like that?
I'm a little bit concerned, but I'm not that much concerned about it. I'm more like curious, what we gonna do with all these properties we didn't have access before, and then there is like a public domain for some properties. So this kind of data maybe was very privacy, but now it's gonna be maybe in the proper the public domain, and then we can maybe create maybe alternative word, and then maybe we can understand the word more like detailedly through many different people's eyes. Of course, I hope people do not use this for a bad reason.
Exactly.
Maybe we can show the other part also.
Sure. I think we could zoom in on the individual bits. It's really a. I will drop the link to her website, where you can check out different pieces of work, including this, in the description of the video.
And my Instagram.
Yeah, sure, of course, of course. I am not on Insta, but I understand and especially I was interested in this part, for instance. You can see like lots of circuits. I think that's a motherboard right there, or something, and then
Yeah.
this thing right here. So that was very intriguing, your thoughts. But that reminds me of something I would like to ask you. So, what you said was like really a very. It reminds me of like systems thinking, because in physics we often think about different alternate realities, different possible combinations, and basically from an objective point of view, instead of worrying about like you said, you hope this won't be used for, like your data won't be used for bad purposes. So I really like that, like your thoughts, even though I mean there are some like there are some I mean there is a lot of potential for this to be misused as well. Not this, I mean your data and AI and stuff like that.
Hypothetical situation.
Yeah. So I would like to ask you. So you said that you imagine like alternate scenarios and stuff. So being an established artist yourself, being like a contemporary artist, do you think that art can, like, this is a very hot topic right now. Do you think art can be replaced by AI art, for instance? Yes, and I mean because what you said was, for instance, I'm pretty sure no AI would be able to interpret this thing right in front of us as we did, like a dog, and like explained all that stuff. I'm pretty sure no AI would be able to do that. But at the same time, maybe just building this thing in AI would be able to do that in the future. So my question to you is, to you as an artist, where does the meaning come from? Just from the structure, or like from the interpretation, or like what is your views on this, basically the future of art and AI?
It's actually one of my research subject,
Okay.
this AI and an art, and also is AI can become artist, and they can be the author. In that case, they can have a copyright. It's like really like interesting for me, and for me, I probably change my mind, but I think. I don't think AI replaced the artist, but I think we probably have to redefine what's the artist, and then probably, and then in that new definition, artist can be just a multiple of people and a multiple of things, which can be also AI. So now, like we in this music Fabre or the paintings, it's normally they have one artist author, but I think now already there are a lot more like collective creation, and then with AI, this is gonna be happen more and more. So I think AI may not replace the artist, but AI gonna take some place in the creation and history of art, of course.
Yeah, that's a very balanced answer, and this is the same thing which we are seeing in academia as well. People are debating whether AI can be credited as a co-author in scientific papers.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
it's really a question. I mean, for me personally, and this is a point I would like to make in this video, is that sometimes I feel like AI is kind of taking us back to the beginning, because before AI we used to think that all the human endeavors of science or art were meaningful because only humans are capable of doing it, only like you need consciousness to do it. But now we see that AI is capable of like almost producing original research, even artwork. So that gets me thinking, and I mean I would also be interested to know your perspective on this as an artist. So do you, like in a way AI is taking us back to the beginning. When I say that, I mean that AI is kind of showing that all of these things are not really meaningful, not really human, in the sense that you don't really need a human consciousness maybe to get to the output. Even an AI could get to the output, but the difference lies in interpreting the results. Because like I said, an AI could maybe build something like this, but it can never interpret this thing like we did for like your idea about protect me dogs and the memory and these things. If you give this to an AI, it could give you suggestions, but I'm highly skeptical if an AI would be able to come up with this idea.
Yeah,
So
I mean, using AI quite often for in my artistic process. I think actually AI can have this kind of imagination.
Exactly like the original imagination.
I don't know because I don't know what is original because I'm a human, but sometimes I can't really say where from my idea. I feel it's
Exactly.
original, but I had a lot of education and I have my life behind me, so probably in my brain they are like mixed up together. So maybe I feel it's original, but it comes from something.
So you're saying here it's like you have been trained in your education, and so but comparing that to the training of large language models, for instance, AI models, that's a unique perspective. So yeah, I think it.
A little bit to show.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So I think it all brings boils down to the question of. Sorry.
Yeah, we can maybe go here.
Yeah.
And then maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think we were covering that bit a lot, so this part got a bit. What is this supposed to mean, by the way?
Yeah.
There is a
So this
circle.
is a skin.
Yes.
So I choose like a sensory organ, like nose, ears, eyes, but also skin is our organ, right?
Yeah.
So I put the CPU inside of a skin.
Okay.
So this is one of the part I didn't do the modelage. I actually do the molding
Okay.
of the actual human skin, and then I put inside the silicone. It's also silicone. The CPU.
That's great. So I think this all boils down to the question of, like you were saying, what is original even? Because if we cannot really know where our ideas are coming from, it's just somewhere in the brain, but we don't know what consciousness is, for instance, then objectively I see your argument that maybe it's possible someday for AI to
Yeah, I think AI can have a completely the original like, creative some idea.
Exactly.
But what AI or the machine cannot do anyway yet, it's executing, actually
Exactly.
making things with the hand. It's different, and then
course.
actually the intellectual property law, the idea itself, it's not protected. So yeah, AI can have a maybe genius idea, but if it cannot like produce actual like a material way, the drawing and with the color choosing things, it doesn't mean many things. It's like a dream. I can have a really dream of a masterpiece of artwork, but it doesn't mean I created the masterpiece. It just
Exactly,
happened in my mind. So I think it's the same AI at the moment. AI could have lots of like really amazing dream of the best artwork in the world, but AI cannot like materialize directly.
Okay, I see.
But
I see what
maybe
you
in
mean.
the future AI can even do that if there's an actual robot.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So it's more of a technical bottleneck at this point, but it may be possible, because what you said, it reminded me of uh, that's what I was saying, because we cannot really pinpoint the source of creativity. In our brain, it's some emergent patterns. Like we have theories for that, but we don't really know where my idea came from. So there is no reason to believe that AI cannot do it. So that's a very good
And then
argument.
I actually do my research in Montpellier about medical education.
Okay.
And then I learned quite strange things because before the middle age at that time, and then people there was no surgeon. There was only kind of the doctors generally, but the surgeon who take the knife who does operation, they surgery they didn't consider as an like actual doctor.
Oh.
And then it changed kind of quite recently, and the Montpellier Medical School is the one of the
Yes.
like structure who put it in the system.
Okay.
So I think AI and an actual artist, the it can change it also because
I see the metaphor. So because Montpellier Medical School is the oldest medical school,
Yeah, exactly.
and so like what you were saying is basically, previously we thought doctors and surgeons were more like workers who are not real doctors.
Yeah.
But then and now we are comparing that with a human artist and AI.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great. That's a very good metaphor. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think like even between artist and then the artisanal or the technician,
Oh,
because
okay.
many like conceptual artists they only think the concept, and then there's other people who do the pottery. They actually produce their work. So there's a kind of hierarchy already in art scene,
Okay.
like artist and then who actually execute in the creation. But now there's another layer, which is AI,
I
who can
see.
have a multiple of the ideas, but who cannot really execute anything yet. So there's AI and then artist, and then the maybe technicians, artisanal who are actually good at like one domain, like ceramic or painting, photograph, etc. So maybe I think we have to kind of redefine the definition of what is artist and what is creation, and then who actually gonna have a copyright.
Exactly. That's a very subtle question because technically, like all the different layers are absolutely crucial for the output. So you cannot say like that's a very deep question. And finally, I would like to ask you like any kind of message to the viewers or to anyone who's interested in art or even like creativity because usually we associate art and science to be different, but even the process of scientific research is it's really a creative process where you connect the dots like the example she gave about comparing doctors and surgeons with artists and AI artists. That's a classic example of connecting dots, which is a very useful skill we use in research as well. So this creative. So any advice to anyone who's watching the video about creativity or even to aspiring artists?
I think just create one time you create something. I think maybe you put a little bit of time, and then you visit your creation as a third person, as a visitor, not as a creator. I think that like a distance actually helped us a lot to objectively understand our creation, and then what we can understand if we don't know any other context. And another thing is now there are lots of tools you can put yourself in the creation quite quickly without going through all the academic like education. So I think even though you are self-taught or you are, I don't know, you are like a 70 years old, you have a totally different background behind you. I think now it's time maybe you can decide, and then you can really put yourself in the creation much more like comfortably than before at the time. And then especially with iPhone, and then we have internet, so before maybe we had to find the gallery, we had to like I don't know, find a museum to show our creation, but now there's an internet, so maybe it's not the same exactly the audience, but we can always find the people who maybe appreciate our creation.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's a very pretty. I'm really. It was really very great to see this work, and I was surprised because it's kind of like strange. But from my training in physics, I could really relate with the thing that was being kind of the message that was being conveyed through this artwork. And for me personally, I am not an expert in art, so and usually like you can see those oil paintings, I'm usually not a big fan of the old oil paintings. So that's why I actually came to the Fabre Museum with one of my friends the past week, and that's when I saw this, and this is something that really interested me, unlike the oil paintings maybe. And this really like that, like what she said about creativity and about the third person perspective, like looking at your work, critiquing your work, criticizing your work from a third person perspective. That's a very important advice in whatever you do in art or whatever else. And that's also very difficult because usually we have this main character energy that I have created. So when I look at my articles, my first instinct is this is my article, but it always helps to look from a third person perspective, that what would someone else think if they're reading it. And so it's the same thing with art. So, and I'm really glad to have met you and to have this discussion, because it was really, I learned a lot. And I mean it's nice to like discuss on this with a professional artist.
Yeah, I'm very happy, and thank you for inviting me. And
Yes.
because of my access, my art like connect a lot like science and
Exactly,
art. So
exactly.
I'm very happy I met Arpa, which is a real scientist, and then it's also like really like inspiring to hear what you think about like my art, because I created this basically not with not very much of a scientific knowledge. So
Yeah, yeah, no,
yeah,
that's the thing
after this
because,
video, you have to tell me.
of course, but that's the thing because we are trying to interpret the same piece of work from very different perspectives, and we see there is an overlap. So that is the beautiful part of it for both for me and for you as the creator. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you. If you would like to, if you have anything to say about this, or if you have any questions, please comment down below, and be sure to check out the description. Thank you.